Hi everybody, hope you're all well. Coming to you live from my new office at Tiferet. I hope you all come and visit us soon on your winter break if you're able to. Here, I'll take you on a tour. Woo! Here's the window to the outside. There's the construction dumpster. I just want you to all feel like you're really here because we miss you. And I wanted to share a short idea with you that I think is very appropriate to sort of ending the first, or to being like close to the end of the first college semester after your year in Israel. In this week's Parsha, of course, we have the very famous story of Esav meeting Yaakov and all of the preparation that Yaakov does going into it, right? And one of the first things he does is, of course, he davens to Hashem, and we have the very famous pasuk of Katonti mikol chasadim u'mikol ha'amet asher asita et avdecha, right? That we all know because it's been immortalized into such a beautiful song. But why does Yaakov choose those words? It's because Yaakov's really taking this time before he greets Esav to think about who he is as a person. So let's take a minute and follow his path. Who is Yaakov? So Yaakov is a person who, if for lack of a better term, and with all due respect to him, he's a guy who like shtups things in. What does that mean? It means he wasn't the firstborn, but he comes out literally hanging on the heel of his brother because he wants to be right there behind him, right? When it comes to the Bechorah, he says, I'm going to get this Bechorah. I'm not going to be able to get it sort of like the regular front way, so I'm going to make sure it happens by doing that whole thing with the Nizida Dashim, right? He's like, I'm going to shtup it, I'm going to make sure I get it. Same thing with the bracha from his father. I'm not going to get the bracha that I want from my father outright. So with the help of his mother, and Rivka recognizes this about Yaakov, of course, he says, I'm going to make sure that I get it any way I have to. But now all of a sudden, Yaakov is faced with a different reality. And that reality is that he is about to meet his brother, who he has not seen since that moment of the deception. And now he's going to meet him head on, face to face. And for him, this is totally uncharted territory. He's never been there before. So he davens to Hashem and he says, Katonti mikol chasadim u'mikol ha'amet, because he knows that maybe he has like spent his whole life doing roundabouts, that now when he's going to face Esav head on, that maybe he's not a person who's going to deserve this help from God that he so greatly needs, right? So now we have this image of Yaakov. Now then the psukim take a very interesting break. We know that before he has his head-on meeting with Esav, he fights with the Malach. But what gets him to the Malach? The pasuk says, "Vayivater Yaakov levado," right? He's literally moving his whole family across the river. And when Rashi even goes so far as to say that what does Yaakov do? He crosses back over to get these pachim ketanim, these little vessels that he had left, right? Because a tzaddik cares about his wealth, because if he's on top of his wealth, that'll stop him from doing averos, like he won't be jealous, he'll use his money properly, and he appreciates the gifts that God gives to him, so he goes back to get it. And he's left alone on his whole family's here, he's left it over here. And then he meets the Malach, and what do? They wrestle. Guys, I have to tell you something, I love the word wrestle, because it gives such a good imagery in our head about what it is like to really grapple and struggle with something. And here, Yaakov, maybe for the first time in his life, has to head-on clash with this Malach. And they fight, and he even gets wounded in the process. But at the end, when the Malach realizes that he's lost, and Yaakov realizes this, he's won, he does something. He demands a bracha from the Malach. Why does he do that? Because he says, for the first time I really dealt with it head on, now I deserve a bracha, straight on, no tricks, no gimmicks. And what's the bracha? The Malach changes his name from Yaakov to Israel. And what's the explanation? Ki sarita im Elokim ve'im anashim betuchal. Because you wrestled with God and with man, and you can. You are capable. Meaning, Yaakov, you have the ability to greet things head on and to fight and to wrestle. And now that you've done that, you've emerged victorious and you've changed, you've transformed. You have a new name and you have a new identity. And then something very strange happens. At the very end of the story, Yaakov says to the Malach, I want to know who you are. Tell me your name. And the Malach does not. He will not give him that information. And in fact, he says, Lama zet tish'al lishmi. Why do you want to know my name? The Malach says to him, this is not about me, Yaakov. This is about you. You're the one that gets a new name now. You're the one that has a new identity. You're the one that gets to grow into your shoes. And it's with that sort of bracha and new strength that he goes on to meet with Esav, with all of his family behind him. Now, what about that? Besides the idea in of itself, which is amazing, this imagery of Yaakov going with someone who sort of is a behind the scenes, making it happen kind of guy, to someone who's able to confront that piece of him and says, this is how I am, but I want to be more than that. I want to be a person who can do it straight. I want to be a person who can look the Malach in the eyes, or who can look Esav in the eyes and do it. Besides that, what's the message to you, my amazing alumni at Stern College? Is that when you're in your year in Israel, right, it's easy to sort of have that Yaakov kind of glow. There's nothing else around you. There are all these different workarounds. The Tiferet dress code says this. Everything is kosher. I mean, I'm taking broad examples here, right? But it's easy. And then all of a sudden you get into college and get into life, and sometimes now you have to wrestle in a way that you never have before. But we can all draw strength and inspiration from Yaakov and say, we can do this. We can wrestle and we can change our own names. Not literally change our names, but we can continue to transform our identity. And that growth that we had at our time in Tiferet doesn't have to be the end of our growth, and in fact shouldn't be the end of our growth, but rather we can continue to move forward and transform our identity while taking a page out of Yaakov's book, that we have to look at our challenges head on and with strength and confront them. And it's really my bracha to all of you that as you head towards the final stretch of the semester, that you can sort of gather that strength to continue on to meet the challenges, any challenges that face you, while continuing to draw inspiration from all the amazing things and opportunities that are available to you in Stern College. And just to close, I'd like to say, for those of you who are able to come to visit, I'm so excited to see you. Do us a chesed, let us know when you're coming so that we can put time in when alumni come. We love to meet with everyone, but if people don't tell us that they're coming until the day they get here, it's hard to make time, so tell us in advance. And if you're not coming, send a WhatsApp, be in touch, and I'll ask Mechila now for anyone who I've not been in touch with directly. But please feel free to be in touch. We'd love to hear from all of you. We miss you. We miss your presence in the school. And it's very exciting to get to hear and see how you guys are all doing. Okay, so we miss you all. Have a wonderful day and good luck with the rest of the semester, and keep wrestling and growing and striving to bring yourselves to your true potential.